Hi everybody, Gert from Cape Town. Now, how to restart a body transformation after a long layoff. Now, let's say you were seriously sick or you had a bad injury and you were off, let's say, for more than 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever the case. It's a long layoff. You were an active person before. Well, now the body is weak. Just getting your mind around getting back to gym is making you breaking a sweat. Because you don't have energy, you feel weak, you just don't feel up to it. Maybe you are not up to it. So let's go through this process of how you determine whether your body is right to actually return to gym and start with a body transformation. Okay, now let's first look at the reasons why you were off gym in the first place. Was it medical? Was it non-medical? If it was non-medical and you were off gym, for example, from a, let's say, divorce or the death of a loved one or some serious heart-wrenching stuff that happened in your life, then sure, by all means, I think you made the right choice. Some things is just too important in life to not take time off and just think about what's happening and come to grips with it and so on. But it's over now. You need new direction in your life. You need to make new choices in your life. So this is the time for you to start and getting back to gym. Your body should be in good shape, or at least it should be fit to return to gym. You should have enough stamina and enough energy. So there shouldn't be a problem for you returning to gym. If it was non-medical, but it was, for example, something like work pressures, a big contract, whatever, and so on, that is not good. Because if it happened then, it's going to happen tomorrow, it's going to happen the day after. And this is where you really need to realize, you need to change your whole concept of what gym is and what body transformation is. To go to gym is not optional. To go to gym is a given. It's something like eating, sleeping, doing whatever else. You have to do it. You don't have a choice. You have to just do it. So it's not a matter of, I don't feel like going to gym today or whatever. It's not on the cards. You just go. You eat, you have to eat. You have to sleep. You have to gym. That is how high it should be up on your priority list. So you have to find a way of dealing with this. And if you don't find a way of dealing with this, it's always going to derail your plans. If that means you have to go very early in the mornings or very late at night to gym, it doesn't matter. But you have to set yourself an hour and a half apart every day that you can spend time on your body, gymming, getting fit, doing what you need to do. Now, if it was medical, that's now anything, you could become seriously sick, some organ damage problems, cancer, whatever the situation. Then it's a bit of a different story, because your body took a humongous knock, and you need to determine whether your body is fit to actually return to gym. Let me tell you why this is so important. The problem is that myself, last year, the first time I went into hospital, let's say around about January, it was a near-death situation. And I got through it. I didn't have energy. I lacked any kind of stamina. But you know what? I started to force myself to go back to gym. And very light sessions, because I couldn't muster the energy. I couldn't lift the lightest weights. My body was trying to tell me something. The doctor didn't stop me from training. And eventually what happened is after just a couple of training sessions, my body folded and back into hospital. And at least then I got to a doctor that knew what he was doing. And he struck me from gym for a very long time. Basically, in total, it was 1 year, because my body needed the time to heal before I could put any kind of punishment on it. Now, this is what happens to a lot of guys that are going through a serious medical situation. They don't allow the body to heal sufficiently before they're returning to gym. And that usually puts them back quite a couple of steps, and it can even result in death. Like in my situation, I was very close to dying. If it wasn't that this other specialist doctor came on my path, chances are that I might have been dead right now. So this is serious stuff. There's a certain process that you need to go through to determine whether your body is fit and ready to return to gym. Now, this is what I'm going to discuss in this video. Two things. The one thing is what do you need to do to determine whether your body is ready and fit to return to gym. And number two, I'm going to give you then the 3-month program that you should use in the gym to phase in your training, to allow your body to adapt and get used to the training environment before you start really punishing your body again. Right, so how do you determine whether your body is right to return to gym? The process is very simple. You need to put your body through a process to determine whether your body can take a little bit of punishment. Okay, but you need to be very careful in the approach. Obviously, your doctor needs to approve everything. So don't do anything I'm saying here. You need to take this to your doctor. You're going to take 1 week. Before you're returning to gym, you need to do this. You're going to take 1 week. You're going to take the 5 weekdays, and every day you're going to do some brisk walking. Day 1, you're just going to do 5 minutes of brisk walking. Day 2, you up that to 10 minutes. Day 3, 20 minutes. Day 4, 30 minutes. And day 5, 40 minutes. Now, if you can do this up to the 40 minutes without any serious stamina problems or energy problems, and you don't feel too exhausted, then you are perfect to return to gym. However, if you struggle by any means to keep up with the above, then you're not ready to return to gym. Then you need to stick to the following process. Then for the following week, week 2, every day, between 15 and 20 minutes walking, brisk walking. This will allow the body to slowly start adapting and slowly get its energy back. But don't force it. If you feel extremely exhausted after, let's say, 10 or 15 minutes walking, you down it to 5 minutes walking. You must not feel extreme exhaustion or have any serious stamina problems. That tells you your body is not ready to return to exercising or gym. So the test you must pass is that you must be able to walk at least a 40 minutes cycle without extreme exhaustion. And that will then give you your pass to return to gym. Right, now the second part. Now you passed, you can get back to gym, but now you need to start your training regime. The first 3 months, this is a very specific program. This is where you slowly fade in your training regime so that your body, your tendons, your joints, your muscles, everything can get accustomed to it. Plus, remember, you were seriously sick or you had a serious medical issue, so your body needs to recover and it needs to learn, the new environment that it's functioning in. You can't overdo it because placing too much strain on the body will have serious consequences for you. Take it slowly. Building the body up slowly is always the best approach. Now, I've already done a video. I'm going to put it on the right hand corner of the screen, so just have a look there. Click on that link. That video will take you to this specific program. The program that you need to follow for the 3 months before you start out with, let's say, my advanced system or another serious training regime that you want to follow. You need to follow this rigidly because this is a process that will allow the body to adapt before you go into some serious training. Guys, we have but one life to live. We're much more fragile than we actually think we is. Apply wisdom and the body will respond in kind. Apply ignorance and you might even die. Now come on, change inside and outside. And become a man with integrity and a body to match. So everybody, Gert from Cape Town signing off. Happy training. Cheers. Man, this is not good.